Uncle Howdy just shared some very interesting words, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out a big return, a big apparent release, and more. Starting things off with one of the more intriguing stories over the last few days, as that's the news and rumors surrounding Odyssey Jones. Jones was first drafted at Raw several years back, but his Raw status kind of became a meme because he never appeared on the show, despite being drafted for a few years. But the long-awaited arrival of Odyssey Jones came just a handful of weeks back, where he came out on Raw to save the New Day. The story was simple. It was how Kofi had met Jones in the WWE Performance Center while nursing his knee injury, and how he recruited Jones to come to Raw to help out the New Day with their issues. We obviously didn't get to see the full story really flesh out, but it looks like Odyssey Jones was being used as a plot device to further drive Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston apart. Woods was upset that Kofi didn't ask for his input before bringing Jones in. Woods felt like Kofi was trying to replace Big E, and it just created all kinds of drama. Then you had other moments like when Kofi tagged in Jones over tagging in Xavier Woods. So it was like Jones was really placed there to really highlight and bring out all this tension inside the New Day, and that's how the story was continuing. And Odyssey Jones had a very impressive showing for those first few weeks there. A very memorable moment was when he lifted AOP at the same time and took them out during his debut. But on the morning of September 2nd, Odyssey Jones's WWE Superstar profile on the company's website was removed from the active roster with no explanation given. Even the highest reporters and journalists couldn't find an explanation for Jones's removal from the active roster. Xavier Woods even responded to the matter on Twitter by posting a message that said the situation had nothing to do with him and not to blame him. Woods said that in a jokingly manner and almost in character because obviously his WWE character has some big issues with Jones showing up and trying to replace Big E in his eyes. So Woods knows that everyone probably figures he had a role to play in getting rid of Odyssey Jones, but he swears he has nothing to do with it. With no one finding an explanation for the removal, the next assumption was that it was probably just a glitch or error, and they'll fix it as soon as possible. But that's when Raw came along later that night and appeared to double down on the idea that Odyssey Jones was done with the company. There was no mention of Jones on Raw, no mention of an injury angle, no mention of everything that's happened with him over the last few weeks. Just a completely fully clean slate as if he never showed up or impacted the story at all. So that was a telling sign itself. The fact that Jones's recent storyline and Raw appearances were not mentioned at all and were all wiped from history. That basically implies that he may be done with the company after all. Of course, this story is nowhere close to being done because more information will surely come out regarding what caused this unexpected and sudden WWE release of Odyssey Jones. Fans are speculating on if it's a contract matter or if it's a backstage situation what caused this to happen. But either way, the situation is just really weird because he just debuted on television and it looked like there were solid storyline plans in place for him. So the sudden removal is very surprising. Kofi Kingston did briefly appear on Raw for a backstage conversation with Adam Pearce that appeared to reveal his new direction now that Odyssey Jones is gone. Kofi pointed out to Adam Pearce that it's been months since the Judgment Day defended their titles, and sounded like he was asking for a tag team titles match for the New Day versus the Judgment Day. So even with Jones out of the picture, it looks like WWE will still be going forward with all the tension amongst Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Maybe they'll try to put their differences aside, especially since now they have to act like Odyssey Jones stuff never happened. So maybe it's a nice little reset button for them. But if they lose that tag team titles match, that could possibly be the moment that makes Xavier Woods snap and turn heel on Kofi Kingston. They've been hinting at that situation for weeks now, and if they do go down that route, it's gonna be a huge moment. Because you're talking about the end of a decade-long tag team, arguably one of the greatest tag teams of all time. So seeing that split take place will be a very big moment, and a much larger deal than any other superstar betraying their partner. Much bigger deal for it to happen in the New Day. So we'll see what turns the New Day's story will take now that Odyssey Jones is apparently done with WWE. The September 2nd edition of Raw also confirmed the return of a big star in the women's division. Zelina Vega has become a nearly weak-to victim of pure fusion collective and is in desperate need of some help. She got some help from Lyra, who ran out there a few times to help Zelina Vega, but it's still not enough. During a backstage conversation with Zelina Vega on Raw, Lyra pointed out how Raw is in Canada next week and how she's going to make a call for some help. Lyra didn't name drop anyone particular, but putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, whoever Lyra is talking about has to be from Canada and is someone that we obviously haven't seen in quite some time. And when you put it all together, you get Natalya. Natalya is one of the longtime veterans in the WWE women's roster, but her contract expired a few months back, and there was worry there for a bit that she'd be leaving WWE. However, a brand new deal was reached a while back, but we haven't seen Natalya since that new deal was signed. So fans think the return moment in Canada will be how Natalya returns to WWE television and becomes a regular, reoccurring superstar again. Most likely as a right hand to Zelina Vega in this battle against Pure Fusion Collective. The Wyatt Sicks and American Made look like they will battle things out one final time on the September 9th edition of Raw in a street fight. This feud has been going on since June, so it looks like it's a safe bet that the street fight will be in the final chapter. It really doesn't seem possible to stretch it out past the street fight. Uncle Howdy also appeared himself with a few words to personally accept the street fight challenge. Howdy opened up his promo by referencing how many days it's been since Bray Wyatt was lost. Howdy said he lost his sanity in his path when he lost Bray 375 days ago. Howdy says that since he no longer has a clear path and his life is no longer his, he's willing to accept the challenge and do whatever match Chad Gable wishes for. Howdy said that Chad Gable is gambling with his very being and how the Wyatts will come to collect the debt. So the Wyatts and American Made will come together potentially one last time to wrap the feud up. And like we discussed a handful of times in recent weeks, there's no shortage of things for the Wyatts to do. A story with the Final Testament, Braun Strowman, and the Judgment Day all seems like solid routes. So there's still a lot for them to do. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.